I'd been under a lot of stress at work, and I'd come into a windfall of cash. So I decided to take that Mexican vacation I'd been planning.
You worked in Mexico before, so how different was this experience in Get the Gringo?
It was a similar experience, except it was easier in a sense because before we were working out at some place called Catemaco, which was in the woods, you know. And it was just trees and things that could bite you, you know. I remember one day the snake wrangler prying a fer-de-lance off the leg of a 4-year-old boy who was complaining about something squeezing his leg. And I was like, I wonder why that snake didn't bite the kid. But it was an unseasonal day, and for some reason it was cold. It was almost like some other part of the world. It was like winter there all of a sudden, just for a couple of days. And I think the snake didn't want to bite the kid because he wanted him sort of alive and well so he could stay warm by wrapping around his legs. So that was pretty good. So that, you know, the difficulties of shooting out in rough terrain and housing everybody in a remote location were not there because we stayed in Veracruz and everything was real nice. And you know, you got up and you ate the huevos rancheros and went off to work. You know, it was 15 minutes away, so the ease of executing the production was much, you know, it was easy.
I had no trouble whatsoever getting across the border. Some nice people were there to greet me when I landed.
What's your name?
Boza.
Well, you know, you start telling a story, and I like telling stories, and other people sort of chime in, and then you start throwing it back and forth, and next thing you know, you're spitballing and you're laughing about it, so it's fun. It's fun, and it's what we do, you know, it's what we love to do. So, and to express things, either blatantly, textual or subtextual, you know, things you feel, think, things that amuse you, things that entertain you. Lessons, things, deep things, profound things, they all come into the mix at some point. Because day by day you go through different moods, and of course, according to who's in the room with you, you know, you're sort of like exchanging levels of experience, or humor, or pathos, or whatever happens to be. I mean, so it kind of does itself just by the fact that you get together and you have this shared experience. I just enjoy it. I love the process. In fact, sometimes it's the most fun. That and the edit. I mean, you're writing the whole time. You're writing while you're working. I mean, it changes as you're working. And then at the end of the day, the edit is the final rewrite. So, and you know, you get the director and the editor in there, sort of kind of like, hey, I got a good idea, and they slice something out and stick something else next to it, and it changes the story. Sometimes in a slight way, sometimes in a huge way, and it's just kind of like it's like making mud pies as a kid. It's kind of fun. But you got to know what you're doing. Don't do that at home, boys and girls. No, you know what it is? Nowadays, you can do that stuff at home. It's amazing. The means are within the hands of any enterprising high school kid if he's got the smarts to sort of make something of real quality and some story that really kind of, if he's truthful in the telling of it, and in the way he executes it and shows it, his perception, his point of view. I mean, those means are available to all of us now. So, and that's what's exciting too, and that's part of the whole VOD thing as well. That's why I go out on VOD. It's a good medium, and I think it's the future.
Recommended a reasonable place for me to stay. It wasn't 5-star, but someone had stolen my cash, so I told them to charge me.
¡Subes, puto!
The director was one of the writers, so we kind of sat around, and the director worked with me on Apocalypto. He's the first AD, and I always remembered thinking that's the hardest working man I've ever seen in my life, because he was translating simultaneously, and he was running around, and just the physical exertion was like, I was like, you know, I couldn't keep up with him, but thank God he was there. So it was like, I thought, he seems to have a pretty good nous about film and about what's going on, and I think he can do it. And he did a great job, and it was like, it was easy because I knew him, and you know, there was no hassles. It was good. So, yeah. It was all part of it was a kind of I don't know, an ensemble experience, if you like, you know. It was all, the people that were involved at the beginning were still here at the end, even now. He's asking me these questions.
I'm not coming back.
Gringo, gringo.
Gringo, gringo.